Good morning for all the participants and those who are joining from other regions, maybe good afternoon. I will walk you through the presentation around the digital technologies, how they are used, and what kind of disruption these technologies are making in the marketplace. Just to start off with, there's so much of technology that people are talking about in the digital. But it is not just about the technology shift, but it is actually the business shift that is happening. Like the introduction, we talked about changing role of IT. It is not about the cost saving in the traditional way the IT has been used for. But in the digital era, it is all about finding the new channels of revenue by disrupting the business models. That is a fundamental shift from IT, the way traditionally it's been used, to the digital era of the technologies that are being used today. With this context, let's see the implications of that. There are four dimensions of in which you can see the implications of these digital technologies. One of them, to start with, it is about the business models, the disruption in the business models. We all know about how iTunes has changed the way the music is consumed. And we also know how Netflix has changed the way we consume the videos and movies. Right? And how Amazon has disrupted the electronics retailers and the book retailers like Borders or Circuit City. Now, those are the examples of disruptive models which are enabled by these digital technologies. The other aspect of it is the consumerization of IT. Right now, with the mobile devices, the individual consumer has got the same level of IT computing power as any sophisticated IT enterprises are using the technology. Right. So, from that perspective, individual consumers are more empowered and more aware of all the potential available in the market. And when they have to buy certain goods and services, they can really demand much more than what the historically consumers used to demand. So these are the disruptions and the customer expectations that have really increased manyfold. And the digital technologies are enabling the organizations to raise location. The second aspect of it is the operating models. Historically, people have always owned the assets, owned the cars or owned the different IT assets. But with the digital technologies, the shift is moving more and more to the utility model. You pay as you go, as is a service kind of economy. Now, every single thing that you can offer, whether it's the products or the services, people are trying to consume as they use it, rather than owning them by paying upfront costs. In that IT context, infrastructure as a service, or application as a service, platform as a service, right? Business process as a service. These are the various offerings on the table, and consumers are expecting those offerings from the service providers. It's taking the example beyond the IT software side. If you go to even the cars, for example. Right, manufacturers are looking at putting them on a rental basis rather than really selling them outright. And the consumers are also looking at, instead of buying, can I really rent it and use it as and when I need. So these are the changes in the operating models. And some of the new technologies when we talk about the digital, all these IoT technologies and social mobility, analytics, cloud technologies, the robotics, the cognitive computing, artificial intelligence, and the video analytics. There are so many new technologies that are coming in as we speak. And some of them have been there in the laboratory environment for a long time, but they are coming into the mainstream of business applications. Then finally, the fourth dimension is about the skills and talent. Historically, IT has been predominantly used or rendered by the engineering graduates or the science graduates. But more and more now, the changes in the kind of skills required to handle the new requirements of the businesses. For example, social media. There is so much of data available through the social media. Can you really make some sense out of it? Traditionally, engineering skills are not sufficient to really understand what is being talked about in the social context. Right, where behavioral skills are required. Right, the psychologists or the anthropologists or the skills around the sociology, those are the skills that are required to really understand the behavior of the consumers on the social media. Similarly, design thinking, the analytic skills, user experience, creativity. These are the art-related skills that are required now to solve some of the IT problems for the businesses today, compared to the engineering background that we have always used in the IT. With this, moving on to the next slide. So with the so many different possibilities of applications which all these new technologies are offering, how does an enterprise look at go about implementing those applications? How do I prioritize what applications to really go after? Right. So ValueLabs has come up with a business value assessment framework. Fundamentally look at any application that will either increase the revenues or create a new market or new customer segment, thereby increasing the revenue, or look at further cost optimization, which traditional IT has been doing to a certain extent, but can we do even beyond that with the new technologies? So this is the basic criteria that one can use to identify the applications which need to be prioritized in the digital area. So we have given two examples here, auto industry and the healthcare industry. For example, from the auto industry, remote patient monitoring is a one new application which was not possible in the past because of lack of technology enablement. With today's technologies, we can monitor the patients from a remote place. Doctor can be at one place and the patient can be at a remote place. So, using the technology, we can monitor the vitals of the patient, and sitting at a remote place, doctor can diagnose and give a prescription. That is the example of revenue generating opportunity for the hospitals and the clinics. Now, taking another example from the auto industry, with the new technologies, you can understand the driving behavior of the driver in a car. And thereby, you can design various different insurance products for different types of driving behavior. And thereby, you can go after the new segments of the customers for your services or for your products. So that is a perspective of an insurance company. Right. So these are the examples of revenue generating opportunities using these new technologies. And when you look at some examples on the cost optimization perspective, the fleet management, the solutions around that have been there in the IT, but with the IoT technologies, you can predict the maintenance requirements of the fleet, and you can also predict the utilization of the fleet for the best utilization. And by able to predict when the particular truck or the bus requires the maintenance, you can actually reduce the downtime, thereby increasing the utilization. Right? With that, you can save a lot of cost. Similarly, in the hospital context, various aspects of the beds, the different medical devices that are there in the hospital. Similarly, using these new technologies, you can reduce the downtime by able to better maintenance prediction and maintain it well in time before it breaks down. So these are the examples of various applications, and this is how you can prioritize using the business value assessment framework. Extending those things to multiple different industry segments. We talked about automotive, we talked about healthcare, but similar opportunities are there in the banking and financial services, energy and utilities, retail, consumer goods, transportation, and media and telecom is a highly disrupted because of these digital technologies. Right. So with the lack of time, I'm not able to get through each and every example, but there are possibilities across all the industries using digital technologies that we can address. So having learned about various possibilities or various applications across the different industries of these digital technologies, how does an enterprise go about implementing that? Now, looking backwards from the applications to certain platforms that will enable the development of these applications. from the go-to-market perspective and time-to-market perspective. It can fast track you to implement these applications. And we've given here as a sample 3 platforms: Connected All, Digital Workplace, Digital Commerce. These are the sample examples where ValueLabs has created these platforms, but there could be multiple other opportunities an organization can look at. And these platforms can be created with underlying technologies like Internet of Things, which primarily deals with lots of different sensors, the various mission-to-mission kind of communication that can be enabled through these sensors. Then the mobile technologies, the big data, analytics technologies, information management technologies, digital security technologies, and cloud technologies. So when we talk about the digital, these are the main technologies which are being used today. But there are other technologies like augmented reality or artificial intelligence. Those are the upcoming technologies. So using all these technologies, you can create the platforms using which you can deploy these applications. So that is the kind of reference model one can look at from the enterprise perspective. Going into the examples of these platforms, right? Digital health is one platform that we have created at ValueLabs. Essentially, this addresses the health-related applications for the consumers, end consumers, and that can be looked at from the different perspectives. From the end consumer perspective, all the wellness applications, from the personal wellness applications, vitals related applications, to measure the vital statistics and how am I doing over a period of time, right? All with the variables that are available today, people can use those devices to capture the vital parameters and put them into through their app to monitor them on an ongoing basis. And as and when there is a need for any intervention from the doctors, one can look at. And it can be integrated with your physician. If you have a family physician or the hospital or the clinic where you typically go to based on your insurance, you can integrate this data with your doctor so that doctors can have access to all your vital parameters. That is one set of applications it can enable. The other set of applications for the hospital perspective, it can get access to all your individual patients' data at one single place, using which they can do a lot of analytics around that and around the kind of medicines that they prescribe and so on and so forth. Similarly, from the insurance perspective, what kind of claims are being recorded, claims are being made, how they can really, using the analytics, how they can detect some amount of fraud through the claims. Or the genuine claims, what kind of people are coming in, what kind of different claims that are being put in, and what kind of benefits people are seeking for. So all those different applications that can be enabled through the payer-related applications. So this platform enables the applications for the individual consumer as well as for the hospitals or the clinics as well as for the insurance companies. So we have this using the framework we have developed a set of modules that can be quickly deployed and customized for any specific customer need in the healthcare sector. So that is one example of the platform. The second one is the digital automotive intelligence. This is a platform that enables applications for the end consumers who are the owners of the cars or the drivers, and also for the dealer who is supplying the car. Now, the main applications that we have developed as of now is in the area of preventive maintenance, basically collecting all the vital statistics of the car and giving them in a dashboard format for both the driver or the owner of the car as well as to the dealer where the car needs to be serviced. So since both of them have access to the real-time data, the service requirements can be predicted in advance so that there is no breakdown of the car at any point in time. So that is one application which we have already enabled, and this can also be extended to the other example that I spoke in the context of insurance, wherein you can use the same driving behavior or patterns of the individual, and then you can fine-tune the insurance premium for that individual. And also you can look at, suppose the car is not used for a month, you can look at whether you can actually not charge the premium for that month, or give some bonus for the period for which it is not used. So some of those new payment models are the policies that you can create around the products, insurance products that providers are offering. So this is the second platform that we have developed. And third one is the digital workplace, which is again in a large enterprises where we have thousands of employees. How do we really manage that they are productive enough and they are engaged with the organization so that they are not really we don't have the attrition problems. And for that, any application that is required for the employee to be more productive, the kind of applications that we have looked at here. It could be self-help and daily use kind of applications like the travel-related applications or expense-related applications, or it could be decision-making applications where what should be my insurance premium or what kind of add-on that I should be looking at for my insurance premiums. Those are the decision-making kind of applications. And the collaboration applications. Within the employees of the organization, how can I enable them to collaborate? And just like the collaboration happens in the social media, can we create a similar environment within the organization? So these are the various types of applications that improve the productivity of the individual. And some of these are available even in the historically desktop format or intranet format. But today, most of these are moving into the mobile devices. How I can enable all these applications on the mobile devices so that employees can use it from wherever they are. And this can also facilitate work from home kind of concepts easily. So again, this is another third platform that we have developed. The fourth one is in the area of digital commerce. So this again, the commerce as such is not new, but this is having the elements of mobile commerce, desktop commerce, as well as the social commerce. That is the uniqueness of this solution framework. Again, there are various commerce-related applications. It's not necessarily just the retail commerce itself, but the manufacturers trying to getting onto the commerce, right? Or any other healthcare providers getting into the commerce, and any other industry people getting onto the commerce-related area can leverage this platform. So again, here's core commerce elements, collaboration elements, then order management, service delivery, fulfillment. All those different elements are factored into this application platform. So these are the various applications and platforms that we have created, and now getting onto the ValueLabs, the overview of the company as such, what we do as a company. ValueLabs is about, it's established in 97 and about 17 years old company with 3,500 employees. And now one of the things that we're really proud of is the average tenure of our top customers. It's about 8 years. That shows the how committed, how well we have been servicing our customers, how kind of value that we are generating for our customers. That's the explained in terms of the duration of those engagements going on. And another factor that we are proud of is the attrition rates, the voluntary attrition rates, which is about 3.7%. If you look at IT industry average in India, it runs around 15 to 16%. Compared to that, 3.7% is really we are proud of. That is an indication of how well we take care of our employees, which is the core of the service delivery for the customers. And we are certified in various different areas like CMMI, ISO, HIPAA, and the growth rate has been since its inception, it's about 50% of year-on-year growth, and we are operating in 18 different countries across 4 continents. And we have been given rated as one of the top 50 fast-growing technology companies by Deloitte recently. And we have also been rated by Great Place to Work in the survey in the top 50. So these are some of the industry acknowledgement of our achievements. And one customer quote, BlackBerry is one of our customers. What the quotation is that ValueLabs truly excels on flexibility, commitment, and partnership mindset. This is how the customers look at us. And this organization is really driven through 4 core values. The perfection, everything that we do, it should be a perfect solution, where the offerings that we have for our customers or anything that we do for our employees or anything that we do internally. It's a perfect solution is what we always aim for. Love for, again, individual employees or the customers or the stakeholders is another tenet of this organization. Unselfishness, look at anything that we do without expecting the returns from that, the task. So these are some of the core values that are driving our organization together. And when it comes to the services and industries that we cater to, all the leading industries like financial services, healthcare and life sciences, telecom, media, manufacturing, retail, consumer goods, these are the large industry segments that we cater to. Beyond that, also the media, the digital media, the marketing companies, there are some of them that we service to. In terms of the service lines, digital is one of the large service lines which we will cover in the next slide, a little more detail, which is relevant in the context of the solutions that we talked about. Business application services is another big area which deals with all SAP or Oracle or industry-specific applications. The infrastructure services is another big area for us, quality assurance testing, product engineering, geographic information, and marketing operations. These are the various service lines that we have. And in terms of the services, the consulting, the advisory services is one major part. And product development is, as opposed to any other SI, this is another unique feature of the us at ValueLabs. We provide software delivery services for most of the product companies, as well, not only the end user companies. The application development is another one. Sustenance and engineering and the support and maintenance is other. Managed services is another one. So these are the various services that we offer for our customers. Coming to the digital solutions as a group within the ValueLabs, we talked about various digital technologies and the disruption these technologies are making and potential applications and platforms that one can develop. So how do we enable all of that? This is the organization structure of the group that we have at ValueLabs. Briefly covering enterprise information management deals with the entire life cycle of the data in the structured form, which is right from the place when it gets created till all the way till the either it gets archived. So that's one large offering, including the data integration, master data, metadata, quality, and all those data aspects of it. The second part of it is the big data and enterprise content management, which is deals with all the unstructured data, whether it is big data, content management, knowledge management, document management, record management, and so on and so forth. BI and advanced analytics deals with the predictive analytics and prescriptive analytics apart from the traditional reporting and BI. The enterprise mobility deals with enabling the enterprises to go mobile, including the device management, enterprise mobility aspects of it, as well as the app store and application development and mobile commerce and so on and so forth. Digital engagement and experience practice deals with the solutions around collaboration, digital commerce, business integration, and business process management. The digital security deals with application, infrastructure, cyber security, mobile security, the cloud security, and so on and so forth. Internet of Things focuses on industrial automation, home automation, connected cars. And then finally, cloud solutions deals with the software as a service or infrastructure as a service or platform as a service, the brokerage platforms, and so on and so forth. So these are the 8 different practices dealing with the different technologies, and they are enabled with the consulting and architecture team and some of the next generation teams, solution teams. So this is the kind of practices that we have set up to enable the solutions on all the digital technologies for our customers. With this, I invite you to our booth at Mobile World Congress being held next week. We have a booth there and where our subject matter experts are going to be available to explain any of the things that we have talked about in this presentation. and some of the demos that you will see out there, the applications and platforms that we talked about in this session. So, Khushbu, maybe you can open it up for the question and answers. Khushbu, are you there?
Hello. Thank you for the wonderful insights into the digital world. And the floor is now open for questions. And what we can do is you can either send us the questions on chat, or if you can tell me that you have a question, I can unmute you for it. So it's open for questions. I have. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Since I haven't gotten any input from all of you on chat, let me take that there are no questions right now. And if you do have any questions, then please write to us and we can send you back the replies. And also, I guess since we're falling for this time, you could write us at marketing@valuelabs.net and we will get back to you as soon as possible. I'll repeat that again, marketing@valuelabs.net. Concluding our presentation today, Smart Solutions for a Digital World, Setting Your Digital Transformation Agenda Now or Never. I would like to thank Mr. Srinivasa Rao for this insightful session. You can find the recorded version of this webinar on the website of ValueLabs under the Resources tab, or please write to us at marketing@valuelabs.net if you would like the recorded version emailed to you. Thank you so much for joining us and taking the time to view our presentation. I think I might want to add again that please come see us at the NWC 2015 and our booth number is 8.0I29. Hall is 8.0. So thank you so much once again. This is Bhavna Reddy from ValueLabs. Have a great day.